been in the position where, and I don't know how some of these people come to this point where, like, I believe, here's what I believe, Mark. You know, you talked about the victim card already. I believe that these people have played victim so much that they only look at the circumstance of them being a victim, create this whole reality in their head, so therefore they turn their back to the facts.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're back in the lab once again at 4:21 a.m. Before we get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all, and we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. How are we doing, Mac?
Man, it's been a little bit of a wild week, man. And I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. You know, just clarifying stuff just been happening, and we'll get to it in a second. But it kind of goes along with some of the things that we talked about on some of the previous episodes, where I said I was being in this new environment, I'm just starting to learn things a little bit better about people and their mentality. So, I'll get to it in a second, man. But it's been kind of heartbreaking, dog. So I will, like I said, we'll get to that in a moment, man. How you been?
Pretty good. Everything is kind of mellowing out over here. The previous week we had a couple of challenges. Some new stuff was presented, but we're getting through it. Courts, she's doing her thing. She done got settled in her little routine and whatnot. And Jace is just Jace. He just he ain't got a care in the world. He just being him. He's just enjoying life. That's all we ask for. But yeah, I've been good. Ain't got
Man, that's
nothing much
good.
to complain about,
All right, man. So, man, I don't even know how to address this topic, man. Yeah, obviously, based on the context of the conversation that I wanted to have this morning, it's a little polarizing in a few ways, because it's something that people don't necessarily talk about, but at the same time, everybody talk about it. And it's weird because, like, the conversation is continuously coming up, but like, nobody is actually acknowledging the elephant. It's like we just kind of dancing around it, and we try to act like everything is cool, but it really ain't. Because, bruh, and let me. Well, I really have a loss of words right now how I want to present this topic, bro. It's like it's like almost like something at the tip of your tongue, dog. But it's this race thing, man. So, all right. So at my job, bro, I'm literally like one of three black guys. Like, literally, like the whole entire culture is Caucasian. Either Caucasian or Hispanic. There's like a few Hispanics there. I don't know which side I represent because of my last name. I don't really know, but that's a whole different beast in of itself. But I think at this point, people recognize that, like customers alike. Like I think everybody just kind of know that, is you if you go there, you might see one or two black guys. Like I think it's just is known now. So like at first, I thought it was a problem. Like I felt some type of way at first when I realized that, like, yo, you literally the only brother up in here. Then they hired another brother, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So now things gonna start to even out a little bit. All right, cool. I mean, it is what it is. Then they hired another brother, and it was like, okay, so we not just diversity hires no more. Like we like they just happen to come across us in a line of applications. Like because at first I was like, yo, I got hired here. I thought it was a diversity hire kind of situation, but like, yo, they didn't really need to hire me. So I mean, it is what it is. I just happened to apply. So man, I'm sitting in there, man, and like I'm already deep in thought about this whole debacle right now, thinking that is a problem, and it may or may not be a problem. But like nobody is like the typical white folks where they gotta whisper the word black. Like they not on that. They not on that whole, like they're a little different. And I think it might just be because of the environment or whatever. Now, you would think the way I introduced that, I'm about to tell you a story about how I got disrespected by one of my coworkers. But this week alone, and I'm starting to notice it, Mark, and this is what I want to talk about. This week alone, man, on three separate occasions, I was presented with some opportunities to put out a fire with not the white people that I work with, but our own people who was in there trying to buy something, but didn't have the actual funds to make the deal happen. All right, so I'm just one of those people that kind of sit back and just pay attention to folks, bro. I try to understand the psychology of people and try to kind of get a sense of what's going on around me and the patterns of people and all that, right? So on like I started to notice as I'm working here the difference between the people who buy in and the people who ain't buying. How fast it is for somebody when they sit down and you show them the numbers, how fast they sign, what they talk about when they're about to sign, kind of reading the body language and stuff like that. Noticing the people who can't look you in the eyes when they're talking about money, like stuff like that, bro. Like, who when people got the money, what they gonna spend it when, like what they spend it on when they get in there, the type of vehicles they buy, the way they pay for it, like just simple stuff that I'm just taking inventory of every time I meet somebody. Like I noticed, like when I got there, bro, like I wanted like every black person that came to talk to me, but when it came to talk about the money, they almost like it almost like I disrespected them. Like I couldn't give them, like, all right, so first of all, I'm gonna say this. I ain't got no control of the price. Motherfucking Kawasaki send a motorcycle to the place I work at. I ain't got no control of the price. My boss ain't got no control of the price. MSRP is MSRP. I ain't got no control of that. Market sale retail prices is what MSRP stand for. When they send it to us, we ain't got no control of that. But for some reason, whenever our people come sit down at my desk with me, for whatever reason, they think that we can control that. They think that, the joint just got there, they unboxed it, and it came at no cost. Like it just got there for free, and we just put it out on the showroom floor, and we can sell it for $1 if we wanted to, or we can sell it for $500 if we wanted to, or at full price to all white people only. So like, I noticed that every single time, dog, every single time that I sat down with a black person, it's always like I was supposed to turn around and get him the homeboy discount or something. Like real talk, like the last time, and I think the last time set me off, dog. Like the last dude, and it hurt me, dog. And not because he didn't buy nothing. Like really, I ain't really care that much that he didn't buy, but it was just the conversation that he tried to have with me about why he wasn't gonna buy. Like I was already on the fence because the dude was like he came in trying to buy a Can-Am, and then he was like, you know, I went to such and such a other dealership. They gave me a better interest rate than y'all, and they financed through the same people y'all financed through. And the finance people called me personally and told me that they were giving me a better rate for this dealership than at the other dealership, at this one. So I don't know what kind of funny business y'all doing up in here, man. But you know, and then I was like, bruh, like as I'm listening to this, dog, I'm like, yo, this dude really did that. This dude really said that. Bro, like first of all, that's federal law. Like you can't, the financial institutions by federal law can't do that. Like that's not how that works. Like if it's just, and I asked him, I was like, yo, which financial institution was that that you said that? And then he started, you know, rambling off about something. It don't really matter, man, because like the number. I'm like, bro, come on, dog, really? Yeah. So at that point, I just want you off my desk, man. But you know, I was already in my head about it at that point, and then I see another dude that I used to work with at Walmart distribution come in there. You know, we friends on Facebook. You know, he been following me for a little while. He already like he knew I was like married already. He knew I had books and all that. He knew about all that, bro. And you know, I don't really know what my man do because I don't really get on Facebook like that. So he said he was studying psychology. So I'm like, okay, this is about to be interesting. I was like, I hope it ain't about to be interesting. I hope he just about to, you know, do what he do, get this joint and just go on about his business. Or not, like I don't care. Like it's not like I'm not hurting for sales like that. So we get to the conversation, man, and you know, he talked about the price of the bike or whatever. You know, I presented the numbers to him. He was like, the numbers ain't working for me. The numbers too high for this bike. They start talking about all of the fees and stuff that come with it, and I'm like, bro, it's a dealership, dog. Like, what do you want, man? Like, for real, like, hey, the only people arguing about the out the door price are black folks. Like, I'm gonna generalize it just like that, dog. Like, I don't get too many people arguing about the out the door price. Well, you know, black people and extremely broke people. Yeah, that's it. Like people who don't actually want this joint. They just there kicking tires, or they think that, you know, Facebook Marketplace is the standard now. Like I don't know. Like you know, you buying new stuff. Like this is just what happens. Like you go to a car dealership, and they like the out the door price ain't never the same as the actual MSRP. Ain't nobody complaining about that.
Right.
Like for real. Like, but for some reason at the motorcycle dealership, it's like, okay, I saw this at on Auto Trader for $9,500. If I can't get it for $9,300 out the door, like I don't want it. Like I don't know what it is, bro. But you know, the car in motorsports, man, everybody is like delusional about stuff. But anyway, back to my man. You know, he sat down at the table. He was like looking around at people. He side eyeing folks, man. He's like, you know, and this is after we talked about the price, and he was already objective of the price, man. And the way he was objecting the price was like, yo, I'm about to drop cash for this, so I want to make sure that the price is legit. Like like I don't care about none of that other stuff. I ain't got no down payment for you. I ain't got like I don't want to talk about monthly payment. He talking about it like he was like, and then he hit me with the famous line, Mark. I can pay cash for it.
What?
Okay, okay, all right. So you can pay cash for it, bro. And you know something that I wasn't doing at first is getting the credit check first, Mark. That's one thing I wasn't doing. I was always, hopeful that I can help my people out because,
Okay.
we brothers got to stick together, right?
No.
So, so I get my man's credit check, and his credit comes back low and too low to get a machine on his own without a cosigner. And literally, I tell you, this happened every single time, bro. But for some reason, every time it happened, it was always my fault that it happened. It's never like, oh yeah, man, I need to get my stuff together. It's always, bruh, I came to you because you were a brother. I came to you because, I knew you. I came to you because XYZ, these white folks in here, it ain't never been no black person working here. Black people don't last long here, bruh. Or how many sales you making compared to your white coworkers? I'm like, bruh, like for real,
Oh.
like yeah, yeah. This was the conversation I got after the joint blew up because for whatever reason, he thought that I should be able to adjust the price for him. And like for real, like if you were paying cash for it, like for real, and quiet as it's kept, dog. There's people who came in and was like, "All right, so what's the price of this?" All right, so the price of this is 45,000. Okay, got you. What's the out the door price? Okay, about 40, 48. Yeah. Okay, 48. All right. I got 46.5 cash. What can we do? Who gonna argue with that?
Right.
So, and what do you think the difference was?
They probably would. They probably had good credit. They didn't come with you with a bunch of excuses. They knew what they had.
That was a Mexican. That was the difference. Like it wasn't a black guy. Like there ain't been many black guys did that. I had one dude who came in and was like, "How much is this slingshot?" That joined like 30, 32. It's like, all right.
Mhm.
Who you think the payments is on it? I don't know. It depends on your credit. Like how much you putting down. He was like, oh, about 5,000. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sir. Come with me. Come with me.
Come on.
Yeah. But I'm at this point right now. Like I'm just like with that whole situation, bro. I'm just trying to figure out like, yo, how is it that we are so delusional about how the world works? Because all of these dudes, dog, when they sat down with me, for some reason they thought they knew more than the financial institutions who had their credit in their hands.
I don't even. I don't even know. I don't get either how. And sometimes it's young folks too. It's not an age thing. I, I
I
don't
know
know.
a few of these dudes are older than me, dog.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't know what it is with our culture in particular, but it's like if if it ain't pleasing us or something, we act like it doesn't exist. We act like we're so delusional about the reality that we live in. It's insane. Like I'm like, yo, how do you go on living like this? Like, you're the only one that thinks this way. Like, the other half of the world is on the same page, but you just believe this false reality that you created, that you can just walk into, like Max said, walk into dealerships with 420 credit scores or something, or 411 credit scores, and expect to, just because you have the cash, you might actually have the cash for whatever reason, you might have the cash, but you just gonna try to walk in there and
Bro, like you got
talk down the
negotiating power.
price,
You
right?
ain't got no negotiating power, bro. All your chips are gone. You sold them.
Ridiculous. It's
And bro, like, oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's just like how people play the lottery, or people get into these gambling games, or situations, and they're like,
Mm,
know what you can do, know your limit, know what your strengths are, and play
mm,
off that. There's people out here that just like, oh, I could do that. They see somebody else do something, they could do that. They see their neighbor with this fancy luxury car, but their neighbor has been working on their credit since they were 9 or something like that, or since they were young, and this guy would just been blowing through credit cards, blowing through whatever, just gonna walk up into a dealership, or try to buy a house because his friend told, he heard it from a friend or something, or he saw something online that it's easy to get whatever these days. And I'm like, you ain't put in no work, you ain't put in no time, you just expect to
at
go
all.
up in there and it's just gonna fall in your lap.
So I'm already upset with the fact that this topic is so close to the one of the previous topics that we talked about people getting their priorities right, man. I'm already upset with that, you know, because I wanted to say in that episode, Mark, that this is what I was talking about. Like I wanted to go there, but at that time I just wasn't sure. And I think now that it's getting warm outside, more people starting to come through. Like I think is just that the opportunities for exhaustion have been amplified.
It's
So I'm just like I really just don't get it, man. Because like as I'm sitting here thinking about it, like bro, you came into an establishment, you sought out the only black dude that 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 was there. Like you sought out literally the only black guy. Like the dude that one, like the dude I was talking to yesterday. He said that he came in and nobody acknowledged him. Well, first of all, sir, there was actually literally nobody at the door when you got here. So because everybody was running around like a fucking chicken with their head cut off. He said, "You the only person that acknowledged me." I was like, that's not true because there was literally somebody talking to you. One of my managers was giving you a sales presentation when I walked up, and he had to get back to somewhere, and that's why I took over. So I'm not really sure where we're going here, but for real, like it's almost like how do we get so caught up in the racial drama of life that we just start to create our own reality to the point where we believe that, like, ma, for real, all these dudes, like, literally, you every single time somebody gets denied for credit, they get a printout of why. Every single time, bro. Now, just like going into Walmart, when you know for a fact somebody got a huge shopping list, a huge grocery list,
mm,
what is the easiest way to tell after they went shopping that they had a huge grocery list?
the receipt.
The receipt. The receipt be long. That thing look like a scroll from an Avatar. Like
Right.
for real. So when people with good credit get their joint printed off, they sheet printed off, a rap sheet, that joint like 1 to 2 pages. Get this. All right, so it's the only time where broke people got paper. When people who ain't got no money get their sheet printed off, it's 4, 5, 6 sheets, all stating why they're not getting approved for this credit.
Come on.
And we can literally see it, Mark. We can see it. But for whatever reason, these same people, they act like whenever they come to a dealership, Mark, that the dealership, because the dealership is predominantly white, that we adjust their credit score and we give them worse rates because of their color. But the evidence is literally right there.
Everybody. I ain't gonna say everybody, but for some reason, it's just, and I don't know why we stick to that stigma. Black people stick to this stigma, and we play the victim of the race card. We
every single time, dog.
Every single time we'll play the race card. Quick, fast, in a hurry for almost everything, and I feel like it's mostly from the environment, because like we've normalized it. Like something happen to us in jokingly just off the bat. Oh, it's because I'm black, right? Something bad happened to you, or the car doesn't work at the grocery store. Oh, it don't work because I'm black, right? You just assume I'm broke. I don't got money because I'm black, right? And
it's not to say that it don't happen.
Yeah,
like
it's not to say it doesn't.
It definitely does, but most cases we make it happen.
Yeah,
but go ahead,
we lean into it so hard that we play the victim, and it's really our fault. Like, we don't take accountability for it because we play that victim card so hard that, like, there's no room for accountability. Like, that the whole situation, those whole situations that you have been through, if those people would have worked on their credit, done something differently along the line of them getting bad credit, they wouldn't be in that situation. And it's like, all our actions are documented.
Every last one of them, even the ones that we think that we can't, that are not being documented, are documented.
Like, I'm like, how did we
you go get a payday loan and that shit is on your credit.
Fact.
Take it
out. I remember when Court got her wisdom teeth. When she got her wisdom teeth removed, the dentist place or something, to pay off the procedure or something, opened up a credit card for her or something like that. Something
they financed it.
Yeah, that's on the report.
Yeah.
I think later down the line something had happened. I don't know if she opened something and didn't use it or tried to cancel it. Anyway, that went on the report. And I'm just like, the smallest things, lead up to the big picture, and it's people's picture out here is trash.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you made it that way. You have the brush to paint the picture of your life, and people are out here just trying to get somewhere they don't need to be, or be something that they don't need to be. Like, if your credit is shot, you in like a not the best home. You in like a single wide, double wide, a 2-bedroom, 1 bath with like 4, 5 kids and all this other stuff, and you trying to walk into a dealership of luxury vehicles for what? You already got
Yeah.
something. You drove there in something. So what do you
Yeah.
need a motor vehicle or a boat or anything like that? You trying to keep up with the Joneses, but you ain't even on their level. You ain't even prepared to be in the same room as them. And it's just like,
So yeah, listen to what he just said, right? Listen to what Mark just said. And I'm gonna just be 100% with y'all. When the financial institutions looking at this, they are heavily critical of this particular industry because it's not something that you need. Mark said you just pulled up there with a car. You need a car. Cars you need for transportation. You don't need a motorcycle. It's everything in there is a luxury item. So they're going to pick through it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that everything is legit because this is more riskier than you even buying a car. Even a $5,000 loan is riskier than you going to buy a $30,000 car because it's a motorcycle.
my thing is, you at the bottom of the barrel. You at the lowest of lows. You ain't came from much. I understand, you want better for yourself. You want to feel some type of accomplishment of success. You want the aftermath of success, like we said before. You want to be at that finish line. You want the fancy cars, the fancy house, and all this other stuff. But it takes work. You can't skip a step. You can't just step over the obstacles and be like, yo, I'm at the finish line and buy these things. Or take out a loan or get some type of loan, grant, whatever, and then just buy it and just sit pretty. Because you got to keep up with payments. If you get payments, there's still an after payment that's gonna come, regardless of anything. Once you buy it, you basically got to keep buying it and buying it and buying it, unless you do that fancy stuff that rich people do. But
I mean, at this point, I'm not even seeing rich people do that stuff. Like I've seen regular people who just saved up their money with that refuse to finance.
I feel it. Yeah. But it's
I mean, granted, I still don't believe in saving, but it is what it is.
Story about that, about saving. But it's hard to wrap my head around it because the subject is just I seen it happen. I know people that do it, but it's just like, how are we on two different thought processes about the situation, about the thing? How can I be like, all right, look, I gotta build up my credit. I gotta work this amount of hours or figure out something to get this money to pay for this. And other people are just like, I'm gonna take out this credit card. I'm gonna use this card to pay this. I'm gonna get a loan here. I'm not gonna work. I'm gonna just get the money. I'm gonna borrow. I'm gonna borrow the money to buy this luxury thing. And then when I have it, I'm gonna just have it. I'm like, do they just be winging it? Like I'm gonna figure it out down the line. Is that what y'all be thinking? Because I'm just like, I can't make too many very risky moves without thinking it through.
Every single time I went to go get a vehicle, every time, cars, motorcycles, no matter what it is, I woke up with the decision to go get something, and I knew exactly whether or not I can get it or not. Every single time. Every single time when I woke up to go get my Sonata, I was just like, all right, yep, we gonna go get it today. Drove up there, got the joint, was like, all right, what we need to do to make this joint come home. The guy was like, yeah, your credit's like perfect for this loan. I was like, I know. I know. I checked it before I got here. I know. But how much we got down? This is what we got down. Okay, cool. Trade in. Yep. Trading that one in out there. How much we getting for it? All right, cool. All right. So this is where the number need to be to make sense for me. Guy was like, all right, cool. And he was a white guy, dealership, mostly white, because, black people don't believe that they can work for dealerships because, black people don't like to be salesmen. But, yeah, because we black. So, you can't do that. They didn't hire me because I'm black, or not because I ain't got no sales experience. But, that's not neither here or there. But, guy was like, cool. Yeah. He took it to his manager. Manager came out, talked to me. It's like, okay, so, where we need to be at. It's like, okay, yeah. So it's Ford dealership. I'm buying a Hyundai. Y'all trying to get rid of that, right? What can we do? It was like, okay, yeah. It was like, I can do it at this price, but I just don't want to. And he was like, okay, that's honorable. Like, he can't justify the price no other way than that. All right, cool. Yeah, okay. We not doing that. All right, so we gonna put it. If we can do it at this price, are we good? I was like, yeah, I'm taking it home. Get it cleaned up. Let's go. Like, let me sign. So, that was it. And I got my motorcycle. I just woke up one day and was like, all right, cool. We driving to the Kawasaki event. I was like, all right, now that I rode this, I'm going home with a bike. And I did. I never had a situation where I didn't know that if I was going to be approved of a loan or not. I never went into a bank and sought out a pre-approval without knowing first that I was going to be pre-approved. I knew, like, and maybe, call it delusion if you want. I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional because I believe that I can get pre-approved for something before we went. I don't know. Maybe, call me delusional, but I just personally have never woken up, decided that I was going to go get something and wasn't able to. Now, there's been times where I'm like, I'm not ready to pull the trigger on that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were talking about trading in the Sonata and getting the SUV. Like there's been times where I was like, okay, well, maybe now is not the time to do that because XYZ. But it was never because our credit was bad. Like it was just like, okay, well, this now maybe is not the time for that. Let's do that sometime in the future. But I've never been in the position where, and I don't know how some of these people come to this point where, like, I believe, here's what I believe, Mark. You talked about the victim card already. I believe that these people have played victim so much that they only look at the circumstance of them being a victim, create this whole reality in their head. So therefore, they turn their back to the facts. And here's why I say this, because every single time the receipts print out after somebody get denied or approved credit, the customer has to sign that before we move forward with the deal. But every single time I take that stack of receipts back to the people who got denied credit, they don't even want to acknowledge it.
Come on.
So when people move forward with the deal, Mark, they like, okay, yeah, let me sign. Because you got to sign regardless. We got to acknowledge that this information, the information that you gave us is correct to make sure that it is you. That is the credit bureaus. They need to know that is you signing for this. So your signature has to go on it. So people who buy in, they like, all right, cool. But people who get denied credit, they don't even want to know why.
That's crazy.
I even slid the joint across the desk one time. Well, I was like, bro, this is why. Here, read over this, bro. They literally giving you the blueprint. Fix this and everything will change. Open charge-offs, stuff in collections, repossessions, child support. Bro, it shows all of that.
They don't even look at it. They don't.
They don't even look at it,
That's
Mark.
crazy. That's like that is weird, man. Cause it's and I want to make the joke, but it's like, no, because it's some truth to that. Like to get over a problem, you first have to acknowledge that you have a problem, and that's what it is. It's almost at like an addiction. Like, people are addicted to playing the victim, that they don't want to acknowledge that they have a problem, and it blows my mind because it's like you can't be that stupid. You can't be that delusional. That just clear as day.
I guarantee you, I'm gonna go to work today and somebody gonna prove you wrong.
I believe it, because just, but it don't make sense, man. Because like, you gonna go your entire life in that mindset. You can't get what you want. You can't go to any dealership like this and just get a car or whatever, because of the state that your credit is in, that your mindset is in. Because if you can't acknowledge that you messed up your credit, or your credit is just messed up, how are you gonna move forward past that? It's wild. It's almost like I had this one happen one time at the gas station, right? So you know how your debit card, credit card, or whatever, it'll show you the remaining balance. You can look at your remaining balance on your bank account or anything like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This lady, she at the front of the line. She fussing at the cashier person. Oh, I know I got money and all this other stuff on my card and all this other stuff. She making a big fuss because her card declined. Granted, she just went outside and paid for gas. Now, maybe the gas was a little bit over than she expected, or whatever. Nah, really,
Or the gas pump put a hold on her funds, because gas
yeah,
pumps do that.
yeah. I think that's what it was. I think she used her debit card to pay for the gas. Gas station, if you don't have it, they'll take a little bit more than regular. Or like you said, they put a hold. I know
They
some
put
of
a
them,
hold of
like,
some of them is $50, some of
some
them
of
is
them is 100.
$100.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen 500 at the as a temporary hold to make sure that the funds clear, and then they put it right back.
But yeah, that's what happened to this young lady, and she going off at the cashier. She want her money back on her card or something like that. She trying to, and the cashier clearly told her, like, hey, look, the pump does that. It's just a system. That's how
Ain't
it
got nothing to
works.
do with us. Ain't got
We
nothing to do with
can't
us.
we can't do nothing. It's like, we can't put it
And
back.
give you a refund at the pump. You gonna put that gas back? Is what you gonna do? We gonna siphon that shit out. you could push your shit off our lot.
And she was just going off, like, just fussing at. I'm like, ma'am, it is 2024. This happened recently. I'm trying to get my stuff to go to work. I'm like, you know better. You know this happens. My younger brother knows this happens. Like,
Some people don't, bro.
they can't. What? You
I don't
go.
know. Some people are so self-centered that they don't understand how things work. Yes, that is a real life problem. And I know that because I didn't find out about it until maybe 6 or 7 years after I started driving, because nobody ever told me that. I found out the hard way.
Oh, I found out first thing. I was
So
overtapping that thing.
yeah, I got a notification from my credit card saying that it declined.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how did I? That's how I knew it was up to $500 because I was in that $500 limit before it be maxed out.
Yeah.
And the joint said it was declined, and it was the only way I had to pay for gas at the time. And I was like up in Maryland, so like I was like, yo, if this joint don't work, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And yeah,
Come on.
yeah, I had to make a quick payment on the joint in order to
Get it back down.
get the joint back down low enough for it to overcharge. Bro, it was weird, bro.
I understand.
It worked out though. It worked out. I was able to get back. My credit wasn't good then. I knew for a fact I couldn't buy no car at that time.
I understand.
That's
But
bad credit behavior.
it is. It is. I ain't got nothing to say for the people. Like if you going this long in your life and you don't even try. You don't even try to learn the tools of the trade or just learn the basic life things, like how life works in general. In order to do your taxes, buy a car. I understand the school system that teaches this, but there's things that you have to go out and learn
You
on your
living.
own.
You living. You ain't got no excuse.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you if you're gonna live and be a part of this world, you have to learn that there's things you can and can't do. It's just point blank simple. And if you want to do everything, if you want to do it all, if you want to go big, go ham, whatever you calling it these days, there's a process. There's a start, there's a middle, and there's an end. At the start, you gotta learn something. In the middle, you gotta do it. You gotta put in the work. And at the end, it's just a collective of one
Everything
and
from
two.
the start to middle.
Exactly. Sometimes it repeats, and you just keep on going.
Mm-hmm. That's that comfort zone that we talked about. You know, once you get outside the comfort zone, you in another comfort zone, and now it's time to expand a little bit more. Yeah, that's real. That's real.
That alone, just this stuff, just oh my god, I don't like ignorance and stupidity. I can't deal with because like
yeah.
conversations like that, and I'm pretty sure you would. They go into a big circle because that person doesn't know
Every
more.
single time, dog.
And I'm just like, all right, because once we go around that circle, once I hear it once, I'm like already on the fence. Then I hear it the second time, I'm like, we go around this one more time, I'm just gonna walk away. And we go around the third time,
Bruh,
I'm like, you know what?
Real talk.
You got
And
it.
like we in sales, dog. Like my manager, they pushing us to make sales. Like that's what like when we don't get stuff on the board, like they looking salty, dog. Like real talk. And like they knew like when like because it just happened yesterday, like real talk. Like it just happened last night, like right when we were about to close. I spent 4 hours on this dude and it resulted in nothing. By the time like an hour and a half went through, and I came back to talk to my managers and get the paperwork printed, I had to look in my face, and he was like, he was just like, "It's happening again, isn't it?" I was like,
again.
How can
no.
how can you tell?" Yeah, because I told him about it. I'm like, bro, every single time a certain type of person come in, they give me shit. They start talking about me. They start talking about us like we doing some shady stuff just because I work here and I can't get them better rates. And it's like, man, that's just part of the game, man. It just happens, dog. You just gotta. And he said just what my mentor would say. Yeah, spend your time with green apples. You can't spend your time with rotten apples.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta spend your time with the ones that ripe and ready to eat. Like he ain't ready to eat yet. He ain't ready to eat, and we ain't ready to eat off him. So just wrap this shit up and move on. Like so, And I hate this talk about it like it's just a black thing, man. It's not. It's really not. I've came across people who were Caucasian who didn't have their stuff together, man. It happens. Like every culture got their group of people who don't have their stuff together, or people who not there yet. No, because we see people who in the process of getting their stuff together who come in, and you can kind of tell them from the crowd too. They kind of move a little bit different. They better than where they were beforehand, but they still not quite there yet. But it is what it is. Like, but the problem that I'm having here, it's not people with bad credit in general. The problem that I have is with people with bad credit who tend to be black and try to make me feel guilty because they got bad credit. You trying to make me feel guilty because you broke. And not necessarily broke, because like for real, I can't go out, like for real, I just told y'all, I've never made a decision to go out and purchase a vehicle and wasn't able to get it. Like real talk. And to add to that, I never had the money to purchase the vehicle outright. So, like, I'm not telling you that I went out and paid for anything cash. I've never done that for a vehicle. Like me personally, I just don't think it's smart to do that when you're working a job or you in corporate America. It just don't seem like somebody told me I'd rather use somebody else's money to get it and I can keep mine. But I'm like, that's still even a little shady, a little shifty thinking, because the interest rate, but it is what it is. But man, like I've never had the thought of going to get something and it wasn't mine before I got there. Like I just knew, like every single time, like even recently. But that's a conversation for another day. But like I at one point knew that I had bad credit. And I didn't get my credit fixed. Like I think we got our credits checked last month. Well, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, Mark. And Alyssa came in at a 760, and I'm at like a 741 or something, somewhere in that area. Like, and I remember when we started the podcast and we were talking about our credit. And I remember saying on a podcast that I was like at like a 602. And before that, like just like before I met all of y'all, I was at like a 500 something. Like I remember those days. I remember saying that. Like I was talking to Alyssa about it. I'm like, yo, like it's so wild that we can do that. And we know exactly how to get to where we are, even if we fell backwards and wrecked our credit right now. We know how to get it back up. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, Mark, in the process of fixing my credit, I had never said that I can't fix my credit because I'm black. The problem that I have with the people who have bad credit is the problem that for some reason, it becomes an added problem whenever the black person can't get their credit right and they sitting across from me at my desk. That's the problem that I'm having. I'm tired of the doubt, because you black and you working with these white folks. How many sales you think you got? The dude literally asked me, how many sales you make here? I mean, as much as I can. Like, what are you getting at? What are you trying to say? What are you insinuating? Oh, well, I bet your white coworkers make more sales than you. Yeah, at the moment, yeah, they do, because they know not to deal with dumb shit like this. And the moment that I was done with it, one of my coworkers, she looked at me, she was like, and that's why I would have got the credit check first. And just walked away. I was like, wow. Because you black and we used to know each other at an old job, I took the time to spend with you, thinking that there was something I can do for you, and I got burned at the end. Wasted 4 hours on what?
Yeah, yeah, and it's so. There's a saying that we kind of created just now on the job, recently created on the job that is gonna be the perfect title for this, and this phrase or this saying kind of opens the topic to a lot more things than just getting your credit right. A lot of people, they want to do things right away instead of doing it the right way. And with your credit, there's ways to build it. There's ways to use your credit as a tool to get the things you want in life.
I'm waiting on the title.
Oh, right way. You can either do it the
That's
right way.
too long. A title.
Or
That's
right
not
away.
a title. We ain't doing that. That's too long.
I was gonna say right way or right away. Right way. You know. Anyway. But yeah, it people are so quick to try to get the things they want to they don't take the time out to look at what it takes to get it or what they need to do to get it. They just pop in their mind one day, oh, I want this car. They seen a commercial for it or something. They gonna go to the dealership and get it. They gonna drive it off the lot today without no sense of, I ain't got the credit, I ain't got the money, I got this credit card with this large amount.
And I just told y'all that I can attest to that.
Don't make any sense. It's baffling even. Just what gives them the right to do that? It's just I ain't get it.
All right. So 517. We at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
We can start rapping.
All right. So final note. Credit is credit.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as black credit.
No.
I don't care how you want to talk about it. Slavery, oppression, Jim Crow, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, DMX, Mike Tyson, Sandra Bland, whoever, all those other guys and girls who died. Like, you can talk about all that, but there's no such thing as black credit. Credit is credit. When I say the folks are watching you from day one, when the moment that your social security number is created and the moment that your birth certificate is printed, they are watching you. They know exactly what you are doing. People don't even understand that the moment that you put in a credit application, people like the creditors, the credit bureaus, they are so proficient at getting the information about you that they know exactly what your mama do, bruh. They know what your closest relative's credit score is, bruh. They know that you hanging out with somebody who got bad credit, bruh. They even know the likelihood of you finding a cosigner that can cosign for you, bruh. This is not a game. There is no such thing as black credit. The only credit out here is credit. Like, the credit bureaus don't care what color you are, and if they cared that I'm black, then I don't think I would own four vehicles at the moment. Like, I don't think I would. I'm just saying. Like, like if they cared that I was black, I don't know if they would have let me do what I did last month. But it is what it is. I don't think they would let me do what I'm about to do in a few months. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe, if they cared that I was black and there was a such thing as black credit, I don't know if I would be sitting here with a 740 credit score talking to you after just a few years ago when we started this podcast being like a 5 something. Like, I don't know if that's a thing. Like, you know, quiet as kept. Mark was over there quiet, but you know, he didn't have any established credit when we started the podcast.
Not at all.
I remember having the conversation. We were talking about secured credit cards. Like, I remember talking about that when we were in the apartment, bro. Like, bruh, for real. They don't care what color your skin is. That's not relevant. The only thing that's relevant is because, bro, for real, they want you to spend money because they can get you off the interest rates. They don't make any money off of the loan. They make money off of interest rate. They hate people who can pay cash for stuff. They want you to have a deal, but they just not going to risk losing their money in order for you to have something that you don't even need, bro. So, and for real, they ain't got. I mean, that maybe that's the low hanging fruit of this conversation. And you know, maybe the conversation that we need to really have is about how you think that anytime you see a black person in the world, anytime you leave a house and you see another black person, then all of a sudden you got to hook up. Maybe we really need to talk about that. Maybe we really need to understand, you know, that we can't go out into the world, see another brother, and think that the brother is going to put his job on the line just because you say, "Yo, I'm here."
Nah, that's real. That's real too.
Yo, check out my skin color. My dude said, "Man, I came back to you because you." But meanwhile, while we talking about money, you can't even look me in the eyes.
Come on.
Meanwhile, while I'm showing you your credit score, you refuting the fact and calling me a scam, calling me a fraud, calling me a sellout because I don't work at a dealership where there's a bunch of black people. Well, first of all, as we're talking about this conversation, point out a dealership where there's predominantly black people and I'll go there. I'll wait.
Exactly.
It's 5:22. We'll be waiting forever. So, we need to get out of this headspace where we are expecting the world to fold for or expecting a certain group of people in the world to fold for us just because we show them that we're alike. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. I can't pull me as a salesperson. I can't pull down the price just because you said that you just because you showed me that you black. I just saw if this doesn't prove anything, I just saw a conversation yesterday. All of my coworkers, they was like, "All right, today we buying bikes." Every single one of us. My manager was going to buy one. Two of my coworkers was going to buy one. One of the two of the people in the parts department, they was going to buy one, and one dude from service, he was going to buy one. And all of them was like, "All right, we all buying bikes today." They couldn't even lower the price for themselves. They get employee discounts, and they still couldn't make the price work. So what make you think that you just gonna walk up in there and just be like, "All right, man, I'm black. I'm talking to you because you black. You know, we black folks got to stick together. You know, black power. You know, Wakanda forever. Hey, man, why the price so high? Drop the price because, you know, I'm black." What makes you think that that's gonna work? So we got to get out of this victim mentality and stop expecting people to fold for us just because we the same color and cut from the same cloth. First of all, we might be cut from the same cloth, but I guarantee you that we are not the same. So let's go ahead and stop on that note right there. We are not the same. We are not in the same league. Your batting average ain't really hitting on that right now. So, you know, and I'm not saying that because, you know, I'm high and mighty or holier than thou, or because, you know, some people say because my wife is white. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. It's because I set myself up for that. I set myself up. I practiced that batting average, and I started batting, you know, whatever a good batting average is. I don't watch baseball, so you had to miss me with that. But my batting average is a little better. So I set myself up for that because I practice. I practice having good credit. I practice keeping money in my pocket. I practice my spending habits, and I start spending money on things that I didn't need. I mean, I still got things I don't need, so I mean, it is what it is, but still. I learned how the financial institutions think, so therefore I can put myself on top of them and leverage them. You got to do the same thing. This ain't got nothing. I didn't go to no black people and say, man, look, man, we the same color. Come on, man, hook me up. I ain't never walked into a room and didn't think I belonged there. Sometimes I question myself, but I'm human. But for the most part, I ain't never walked into a room and was afraid to talk to a white person because I had to talk about money. Never. And if you think that's a good mentality to have, you will never have anything in your life. Anything. Because they are literally predominantly out here. Like wherever you had to talk about money, you it's kind of hard to miss a white person. Like, I'm just being real.
I feel that. And it doesn't only go to credit and dealerships. Like just being supportive to a black creator in any field. They
don't do that.
They ain't.
They don't do that.
Be supportive.
They don't do that, bro. Hell no, because that, bro, you come on, man. You know how many conventions I did and had somebody of color tell me that they didn't want to pay a certain price because they were colored. Like, real talk, like somebody picked up one of my books and told me that I need to give them a discount because they colored.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, you gotta be supportive. Like,
they don't support that. They don't do that.
I understand that. I'm saying they need to. It goes to, it applies to that also. Don't go to a convention and don't go to any type of, when a black person opens up a shop, don't expect to go in there and just be like, oh, I'm about to get it made. Everything about to be in my price range and all this other stuff. And then you walk in there and you see everything is like high quality. Just
everything is just the same price as it is at Walmart.
Damn right. And then you just like, oh no, it needs to come down because we the same color. We look out for a brother and all this other stuff.
Man, I thought you were giving back to the hood.
I can't give it for free. What you mean?
Watch me give it back to the hood and watch my store close down in like 2 months. Thanks. That's my mom's real life story, by the way, but we ain't gonna go there.
All right, man. So, point blank simple. There's a process to everything. Don't think just because you're black, the world owes you something or someone owes you something just because you're black. No. You got to work for it just like everybody else. There's a process to it. There's a start, middle, and end. Get your lazy butt off the couch, off the chair, off whatever. Put in the work. That's all it is. Just put in the work. Ain't rocket science. You ain't got to go out here and have a associate's degree, bachelor's degree. Hell, you don't even need a GED for some of this stuff that we talking about. Just gotta literally just live life and you'll learn it.
And just understand that every time you go outside the house and that you just not about to get a discount from black people just because you got Africa chain on. And know that you never been there. Peace, love y'all. See y'all next week.
Hey man, this has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast where the elephant is always welcome. It's your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mac. Before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button because we do this for y'all because we love y'all. Even though we give y'all a hard time. And always
we addressing the elephant.
We are. And always remember that those who shy away from it are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.